Women Anniversary Celebration. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Laureen Sabinico. I'm the Executive Director of the Malden YWCA. This event this event is one of my favorite events. I like this event because it really brings the community together in the spirit of celebration. And we really are here to celebrate tonight. I must tell you that I can think of no better way to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Malden YWCA than to host this tribute to women, everyday women, extraordinary visions. It's really about women who make a difference in the community. It's about women who take time out in their lives and take action in order to make a difference. So we're really excited about having the program this evening. What we're going to do now, if you will join me, this is the kickoff of the program. We're going to welcome each of the honorees as they come into the hall in order to be with their family and friends. So I would like you to join me in welcoming the honorees for 2002, Miss Ellen DeAngio. Is Mei Hung here yet? Mei Hung.
I hope not for long.
The brother well hung is next.
Our teen honoree, Elizabeth Mengesha. Rivera Rogers. Dr. Deborah Wade. And our final honoree, Sheila Fermata. Well, I'd like to thank you for your enthusiasm. You've set the tone for the evening. This is a celebration, and the level of enthusiasm that we've generated tonight is a great start. I'd also like to thank you for wearing your pink ribbons. Everybody here has a pink ribbon on, and the pink ribbons are for breast cancer awareness, and we're just delighted. It's a small act of advocacy, but an important one, so thank you for doing that. It's a program that's really important to us. Now I'm going to turn the program over to our Mistress of Ceremonies, Christine DiPietro. Christine is she's a YWCA Board Director, a past tribute honoree, and the Director of Human Services for the City of Malden. Please join me in welcoming Christine DiPietro.
Good evening. I'm very happy to be here tonight and especially honored to be the one that introduces the 2002 honorees. But before we get to that, we have other people to recognize and to thank. First, we would like the past honorees to please stand so that you will be recognized. I would also like to recognize the sponsors for this evening. The silver sponsors are Lynn Holton from Keyspan. We have Carla Orchioni from Medford Bank. We have Anne Marie Whitson from Telecom Bank. And our bronze sponsors are Eagle Bank, Metropolitan Parking, Metropolitan Printing, and Mass Electric. Thank you. As you see over here to my left, we have some gifts for the honorees. And rather than going through the bags for each honoree, we would like to tell you what's in them. There are citations in them from very noted elected officials. Senator Tassay has a wonderful citation from the Senate. Representative Chris Fallon, who's here with us tonight. Thank you, Chris. Has a citation. There's also a citation from Representative Kathy Reinstein, and there's a citation from Mayor Howard, who we'll hear in a little while. Thank you. And there's also a citation there from the Malden City Council, who is here in great numbers, but I'm going to introduce you in 2 seconds. And then we have a gift, of course, from the YWCA. So it's a wonderful package, and the women will get that when they come up after they're honored. I would now like to introduce our elected officials, our local elected officials that are here with us tonight. I believe we have the full city council, although I don't know if I counted 11, but I think they're all here. Marty Gately, Henry Giannetti, Mike Sheehan, Eleanor Cushing, Paul Condon, William Spatafora, Jeff Donahue, John Furlong, Stephen Finn, Chris Simonelli, and Richard Corielli. And we also have several members of our school committee here with us tonight. We have Frank Russell. We have Bill Minnie. Donna Spinelli. Judy Bucci. Greg Lucy. And Gladys Rivera Rogers. And now I would like to introduce Cassandra Raphael, who is a graduated senior from Malden High School just last week, and she is going to do our invocation. Cassandra's been selected to attend Northeastern University in the fall. So please help me welcome Cassandra for the invocation.
My name is Cassandra Raphael, and on behalf of the Malden YWCA, I welcome you all to the annual Tribute to Women's Dinner. I would now like to read you a poem from an unknown author. Winners. Winners are people like you. Winners take chances. Like everyone else, they fear failing, but they refuse to let fear control them. Winners don't give up. When life gets rough, they hang in there until it's gonna get better. Winners respect their weakness while making the most of their strengths. Winners are positive thinkers who see good in all things. From the ordinary, they make the extraordinary. Winners believe in the path they have chosen, even when it's hard, even when others can't see where they're going. Winners are patient. They know a goal is only as worthy as the efforts that are required to achieve it. Winners are people like you. They help this world a better place to be. Tonight, we'd like to thank you for bringing us all here safely to honor these winners who truly deserve it. Thank you for blessing the Malden community with people who honestly care and have given their best to make the community a better place. Thank you for the Malden YWCA which makes it possible to honor all of these women that are here today. Help us continue pursuing our goals of eliminating racism, celebrating diversity, and improving the community. And help us be an example to other communities, and help the youth follow in the footsteps of these winners by making the right decisions for themselves and keeping the tradition alive. May we all leave here safely and keep the spirit that if we do anything we put our minds to, we can accomplish anything. Thank you, and enjoy your evening.
I'd like to take a moment now to thank the Tribute to Women 2002 Committee, especially the Tribute co-chairs, Maidu and Virginia O'Neill.
Christine DePietro. Susan Dooley. Our wonderful president, Karen Gray. Sharon Irving. Diana John. Deborah Kasabian. Yay. Jeanette Miles. Gladys Rivera Rogers. Suzanne Roberts. And I'd also like to take a moment to say thanks to my staff, the YWCA staff. When there's an opportunity to thank them publicly, I like to do it because they're just awesome, awesome people. They make the YWCA tick. So please join me in thanking Peg Crow, the Director of Teen Services. Many of you know Peg, she's awesome. Anne Marie DiBenedetto, After School Program Associate. Gretchen Eisenhower Bacon, the School Age Program Specialist. And many of you got to know Tiffany Ferris, our Office Manager. And Abby Francis, who is a Health Education Coordinator in the Teen Program. Maria Hannaford, Group Leader in the Daycare Center. Kim No, who is our Director of Operations, and she's new to the YWCA. So Kim No. And Joanne Stroud-LeBeau. Joanne was in charge of giving you your pink ribbons and making sure you wore them. And finally, Debbie Younes, who's the Director of Children's Services for the YWCA. And you know, we have to thank lots of people too. I'd like to thank Lynn Paris, who brought the beautiful flowers here this evening and did the display from Paris Floral Design. Randy Hall from Metro Bank, who couldn't be here this evening. Randy helped us track down the Susan B. Anthony dollars that you found. That was no easy task, so we're happy about that. Claire Crokin is a member of the YWCA. She planned the meal for the evening. Thank you, Claire. Also, Sal Khan and Doug McAvoy for working on sound and NATV volunteers. Deborah Kasabian, who did the ad book. The beautiful ad book was Deborah's work. So please let's thank Deborah Kasabian. And a special advance thank you for Melissa Gregg. Advance thank you for the technical assistance for the program you're about to see. Thank you very, very much. We're going to turn it back to Chris now for the next phase of the program.
It was going to be my pleasure to introduce Mayor Howard for a greeting, and it will be my pleasure, but it's not my pleasure right at this moment because he's not here. You may have noticed some of our school committee members had to jump out and leave for another event down at the Salemwood School. I believe there's a dedication tonight, and they really had to be there, but they promised to be back, and they promised to be back at 7:30. so much for those politicians' promises. No, don't tell him, please don't tell him. Chris Fallon's still here, right? Anyway, I would like to mention two other women. This is a women's night, and it's my prerogative to forget, and I saw two wonderful women that I forgot to mention earlier. One is former City Councilor at Large Joan Chasen. I know she's here somewhere. And our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Joan Conley, is with us. And now, part of our program for tonight is a multimedia presentation prepared by our President Karen Gray, Gladys Rivera Rogers, and it's celebrating 75 years of YWCA history. And this is really wonderful, so I hope you enjoy it.
I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind and open up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? And now my life has changed in so many ways. My independence seems to vanish in the haze. But every now and then I feel so insecure. I know that I just need you like I've never done before. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me.
In 1927, we were emerging from World War I and in the midst of Prohibition. In 1923, the Equal Rights Amendment was introduced into Congress right after the 19th Amendment that granted the vote to women. We voted for the first time during the presidential election of Woodrow Wilson. The Scopes monkey trial had just been completed that pitted the Bible interpretation against the Darwin theory of evolution. The movie The Jazz Singer with Al Jolson was playing in theaters. Duke Ellington was in the beginning of his musical career, and the first TV recording was made by John L. Beard. In clubs, we were playing the Black Bottom and the Charleston. And last year, Gertrude Elder swam the English Channel. She was the first woman to do this, and she broke the men's record of 14 hours and 31 minutes. This was the jazz age, the age of the flapper. She was sassy, booze drinking, cigarette smoking lady. Young women were wearing shockingly tight bathing suits showing skin leg. Women were influenced by Dorothy Parker, a poet and short story writer, and Isadora Duncan, a free-spirited dancer. And the unchaperoned date was something new for us. Ernest Hemingway published Men Without Women and was 2 years away from writing A Farewell to Arms. On May 20th, 1927, Charles Lindbergh gunned up the engines of the Spirit of St. Louis and flew across the Atlantic in 33½ hours from Long Island to Paris. Alice Ramsey was the first woman to drive coast to coast in 1909. She was a 22-year-old housewife and mother from Hackensack, New Jersey. Now, just last year, myself and a few of the other Malden ladies came together to form the Professional Women's and Girls Club. Now, just a few weeks ago on the 9th, the Malden YWCA was incorporated after being called to order by Mrs. Charlotte E. Wellington. In September, we will open our headquarters at 170 Pleasant Street. And a final note. The U.S. stamp is 2 cents. And the New York Yankees won the World Series 4-0 over Pittsburgh. Thank you.
The year is 1937, and the Hindenburg just exploded over Lakehurst, New Jersey, 36 killed. Did Amelia Earhart vanish over the Pacific? Or did I run away with my co-pilot, Fred Noonan? I'll never tell. I will tell you that I sold my first plane to buy a sports car and to move to Medford, where I taught English. Also in 1937, Valentina Tereskova was born in Russia. Later, she began the first orbit through space as a woman and did so 68 times. Not too bad for a daughter of a single mother and one who didn't start school until age 10. Zora Hurston wrote, "Their eyes were watching God." It went on to become one of the greatest American novels. Grace Eldering and Pearl Kendrick developed the first vaccine for whooping cough and later created a single shot for diphtheria, whooping cough, and tetanus. Fannie Peck was the first president of the National Housewives League, which encouraged African American women to use their economic power to improve the community. Mary Eliza Mahoney was the first African American registered nurse. She worked at the New England Hospital for Women and Children in Roxbury and was later buried at Everett's Woodlawn Cemetery. As we drew closer to World War II, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy made their radio debut, and Margaret Mitchell won the Pulitzer for Gone with the Wind. The Golden Gate Bridge was finally completed. The Glenn Miller Band made its debut. And Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs hit the theaters and was an instant classic. Here at the YWCA, Judge Emma Schofield was present. She was the first woman judge in New England. We ran a camp for high school seniors and juniors and an evening camp for those women who were involved in business and industry. The cost of stamps was 3 cents, and the Yankees beat the New York Giants in the World Series 4-1.
It is now 1957, and Russia just launched Sputnik 1, the first Earth-orbiting satellite, and the space age began. The Little Rock 9 integrated Arkansas High School, and President Dwight Eisenhower had to send in troops to protect the students and quiet the mobs against Arkansas's governor who tried to defy the order. This was 3 years after the Supreme Court ruled in Brown versus the Board of Education that racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. And 2 years after, Rosa Parks, the mother of civil rights movement, refused to give up a seat on the segregated bus in Montgomery. Althea Gibson was the first African-American tennis player to win both Wimbledon and Forest Hills. This talented woman recorded a record album, acted in film, toured with the Harlem Globetrotters, and played professional golf in the LPGA. The other amazing women of my time were Chen Shun Wu, an American experimental physicist, and Felisa Begotier. She was the mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico. The first. Felisa, immersed popular politically, she held weekly meetings in her house and also vivió nevia en San Juan para los niños del pueblo. She also flew in snow for the children in San Juan, in her town. The League of American Women voted her the Woman of the Year. Senator John F. Kennedy won the Pulitzer Prize for Profiles in Courage. The Civil Rights Act of 1997 established the Civil Rights Commission and allowed the Justice Department to bring suit on behalf of African Americans denied the right to vote. Peyton Place was a huge movie hit with all its soap operas and twists and turns. But in total contrast, you never guess, Leave It to Beaver debuted, ushering the era of TV shows of the ideal American life. Sadly, Laura Ingalls Wilder, known for her well-loved series of children's books entitled Little House in the Big Woods and the autobiographical tale of her own childhood. We at the YWCA, with the guidance of our president, Mrs. Lawrence Langell, expanded our programs. We focused on adult education, child care, and enrichment programs for boys and girls, such as performing and visual arts, theater, and music. The cost of the first class stamp was 3 cents. The World Series was won by the Milwaukee Braves against the none other New York Yankees.
It's the age of Aquarius. Free love, free speech.
It is a turbulent time and the U.S. is at war. It's the Vietnam War, and there were massive demonstrations. There were racial violence in Detroit, Spanish Harlem, and Birmingham, Alabama. Now, the National Organization for Women was formed and incorporated in Washington, D.C. Thurgood Marshall is sworn in as the first Black U.S. Supreme Court Justice. 1967 has become a time of change for women. Our political power was being felt. Abortion rights were being discussed, and Colorado became the first state to legalize abortion. Coretta Scott King is a dynamic civil rights and peace crusader. Now, President Betty Friedan was also a strong voice. It's still 1967, and President Johnson signs a public law, 9130, allowing women into the armed forces. There are varied opinions about women's roles, but Phyllis Schlafly's liberal feminism rings true. While Claire Ruth Luce is heard saying, "Husbands, praise your wives and marvel how quickly they stop complaining about discrimination." Not in my household. Joyce Carol Oates, she was a famous author. Dorothy Parker is also a writer and critic. Rita Moreno is a Puerto Rican actress who became the first woman ever to win all 4 of the biggest awards in show business, an Oscar, Emmy, Tony, and Grammy. Times are changing everywhere, even Boston, where Kathy Switzer became the first woman ever to run the Boston Marathon. And at the Malden YW, our programs reach more and more residents with career education classes and school-age childcare. The price of the first U.S. stamp rose to 5 cents, and the St. Louis Cardinals won the World Series over the Boston Red Sox 4-3.
It's 1977, and everyone is quieting down from last year's excitement and the celebration of the bicentennial. The Israeli commandos have freed 103 hostages that were held at Entebbe Airport. President Jimmy Carter pardoned the Vietnam War draft invaders, and Star Wars has hit the theater for the first of many times. Saturday Night Fever has also been released and sparked the disco inferno. And sadly, although many people still don't believe it, Elvis Presley died at Graceland at the age of 42. There are many major advances in science. The neutron bomb was developed. The Space Shuttle Enterprise made its first test flight. And there are many outstanding women of this period, including myself, Toni Morrison, a prolific African-American writer. I just finished publishing my third novel, Song of Solomon. And of course I go on to be the lead author of the Oprah Winfrey Book Club. The U.S. Army has announced it is restoring the Medal of Honor to Dr. Mary Edwards Walker, a frontline Civil War surgeon, and the only woman amongst 300 medal winners in American history. 3,000, I'm sorry. Janet Guthrie became the first woman to race in the Indianapolis 500, and after the race, she publicly thanked her parents for not bringing her up to think that she couldn't do something just because she was a woman. The Air Force graduated its first 10 women pilots, and NASA chose the first woman as an astronaut candidate. Jacqueline Means, a 40-year-old nurse and prison chaplain, became the first woman admitted to the priesthood in the Episcopal Church in America. And how could we forget Nadia Comaneci, a Romanian gymnast who became the first gymnast ever to score a perfect 10 in the 1976 Olympic Games. Dorothy Hamill, an American figure skater, was the winner of the Ladies Olympic Gold Medal and also won the World Championships in Sweden. Shirley Temple, America's little darling of the 1930s, was appointed a U.S. representative to the United Nations and later ambassador to Ghana. The Equal Rights Amendment was causing much excitement around the country as many states debated ratification. Bella Abzug, chair of the National Women's Conference, was a leader in the women's rights. She initiated the Congressional Caucus on Women's Issues and helped organize the National Women's Political Caucus. She wrote the first law banning discrimination against women and obtaining credit cards, loans, and mortgages. She also introduced bills on comprehensive child care, Social Security for homemakers, family planning, and abortion rights. In 1975, she introduced an amendment to the Civil Rights Act to include gay and lesbian rights. And our Malden YWC presidents of the time were Claire Crokin and Barbara Brown. The cost of the first class stamp made a huge leap to 13 cents. And the New York Yankees won the World Series again over the LA Dodgers 4-2.
Prime Minister of Great Britain. People are watching 30-something on ABC TV and Fatal Attractions at the movies. I do my own dancing in Flashdance, a movie which revolutionizes dancing on the screen. Senator Orrin Hatch and then Representative Barbara Boxer sponsored legislation to enact Women's History Month, which passed without a debate. The women of my decade were highly accomplished. First of all, Mary Rodas, the youngest corporate vice president ever, was a driving force behind Catco Toy Company, having been appointed to her VP of Marketing position at the age of 13. Christy Yamaguchi won the 1992 Winter Olympic gold medal in women's figure skating, the first U.S. gold in this category since Dorothy Hamill did it in 1976. Tricia Zorn, a blind swimmer, became the first athlete, male or female, to win 12 gold medals in the Paralympics. In my decade, Maya Lin was a 21-year-old architectural major at Yale. Her design for the National Vietnam Veterans Memorial was selected over 1,400 other entries that were submitted. And finally, Sandra Day O'Connor became the 102nd Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court and its first female member. In my decade, the Malden YWCA acquired Wilcox Hall from the Girls Club of Malden. After extensive renovations, this lovely Victorian building is now home to 21 single women. The Malden YWCA also initiated our Imagination Unlimited enrichment program at the Holmes Elementary School. This program has now evolved into the YWCA Kids Club, serving over 100 children daily at multiple locations. Presidents for this decade were Barbara Tolstrup, Hattie Broom, and Katie Kwan. And the cost of a first-class stamp was 22 cents. And in breaking with tradition, the Minnesota Twins won the World Series, beating the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3.
Year is 1997. It was like we were under a full moon. Everybody was affected in a strange way. 1997. Heaven's Gate cult members committed mass suicide in California. Timothy McVeigh was sentenced to death for the Oklahoma City bombing. O.J. Simpson was found liable for the death of his wife and his friend in a civil suit. The Titanic crashed into theaters. It was the most expensive film made and marketed, costing between $250 and $300 million. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, published in the UK, came to the US as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Ellen DeGeneres became the first openly gay woman to have her own sitcom. Dolly, the first genetically engineered lamb, is created with a human gene. And two rhesus monkeys, Didi and Dido, were made from DNA taken from cells of developing monkeys' embryos. In this decade, women were easily recognized by their first names: Cher, Oprah, J-Lo, Rosie, Madonna, and Janet. Other renowned women of my decade include Dr. Maya Angelou, who is a poet, educator, historian, author, actress, director, producer, and civil rights activist. Margaret Cho, who began her stand-up comedy career at age 16, won the American Comedy Award in her early 20s. Diane Sawyer joined Good Morning America in 2020. She won many awards, including the National Headliner Award. Sadly, we lost two wonderful women in 1997. Humanitarian Mother Teresa and Lady Diana, the much-loved and respected Princess of Wales. Here in the Malden YWCA, we continue in our march to the future, reaching deeper into the community with our health and wellness programs, including N4+, our breast and cervical cancer education program. The cost for the first class stamp, well, will lead to 32 cents. And the Florida Marlins defeated the Cleveland in the World Series 4-3.
It's now 2002, and let me tell you about the women of my era, the 2002 honorees, the honorees of this decade, everyday women with extraordinary visions. Let me tell you a little bit about our first honoree, Elena D'Angio. Elena D'Angio has not only touched the lives of her 5 stepchildren and 10 grandchildren, but also the lives of thousands others since joining the Malden Public Schools in 1972. After obtaining her master's degree in music education, from Boston University, Ellen began her career at the Lincoln Elementary School. During her 18 years at Lincoln, Ellen taught general music, directed the annual holiday and spring concerts, as well as a variety of shows and choral programs. Ellen credits Ruth Baker as her early mentor and role model and states that the positive reinforcement of both Sam Fishman and Bob Lenahan, who were Lincoln's principals, enhanced her professional growth. In 1990, Ellen married Carl D'Angio in a service which included the talents of her junior high school chorus. That same year, she was assigned to the Malden High School with the hopes of restoring the choral art program. Over the next decade, she returned to elementary teaching while directing the high school and middle school choruses. Currently, Ellen directs a mixed chorus of 60 students, the concert choir, which number 80 students, and an a cappella ensemble. These groups reflect and celebrate the diversity of Malden, have been the recipients of numerous awards, and have performed at many prestigious public events, including the city's inaugural ceremonies, the mayor's holiday party in City Hall, where the students gather around the 6th floor railing singing to all the employees, and a courthouse event honoring Emma Fall Schofield, and many others. Ellen's many talents expand the scope of music. She runs 4 wee miles each day, and is proud to have completed the Boston Marathon. Eleanor will retire at the end of 2003 school year and looks forward to spending more time with her family. She can honestly say that she really loved her job and that a part of her will never leave Malden. The music the honorees are accompanied by tonight are the choice of each honoree. So please help me welcome Elena D'Angio. And Nancy Kasabian, her co-workers and teachers at Malden High.
Well, thank you very much. It is indeed an honor for me to be accepting this prestigious award and to be included among the elite group of women that are being recognized this evening. I'm so happy that my mother, Lois Dunn, my wonderful husband, Carl, his 5 children and their spouses, and my 2 oldest grandchildren could be here this evening to celebrate this important event with me. Now, contrary to popular belief, I really do not enjoy public speaking. So what you people have maybe witnessed over the past 30 years is my stage persona. And it's rather curious that I am a little bit on the shy and reserved side, because my dad was a very outstanding individual and he loved to be in the limelight. He sang in a barbershop harmony chorus, he played the piano, he played a little bit of guitar and banjo and a little harmonica, and believe it or not, he carried an accordion around in the trunk of his car, just in case there was a party that was in need of some music. Well, Dad's spirit is here tonight, but there's no accordion. And I know you're glad when I say I never learned how to play the accordion. But in the true Dunn tradition, I did bring the music to the party. So if you'll indulge me for a couple minutes, gentlemen, can you join me?
Yep, thank you very much. This is what I do, what I've been doing for 30 years, and this is why I love doing it. Please, gentlemen.
Shoo-doo, shoo-be-doo, shoo-doo, shoo-be-doo, shoo-doo, shoo-be-doo, shoo-doo, shoo-be-doo. In the still of the night, I heard you every time. love you so. Promise I'll never let you go. In the still of the night.
In addition to the YWCA's gift, we have a gift, a beautiful bouquet of flowers from the Malden School Committee to Ellen. Great. Our next honoree is Elizabeth Hart. As the founder of Tailored for Success, Elizabeth Hart served as a role model to other women and girls by demonstrating that passion, determination, belief in oneself can make a positive difference in the lives of others. Tailored for Success works to empower low-income women to achieve success by providing them with free business attire and the opportunity to participate in career development workshops. In her role as executive director, Liz is responsible for day-to-day management, program development, volunteer recruitment, community outreach, and optimizing financial support. Her ultimate dream is to be able to work full-time for Tailored Success, opening shops throughout Massachusetts and helping hundreds of women. Liz is also active in a variety of clubs, including Zonta Club of Malden, the North Shore Black Women's Association, and the School to Career Committee of the Malden Chamber of Commerce. She is on the board of directors of the YMCA and serves as a volunteer mentor at the Jewish Vocational Service Center for Careers and Lifelong Learning. The clients of Tailored for Success and their desire to make positive changes in their lives inspire Liz, who holds degrees from both Cambridge College and Northeastern. A resident of Malden, Liz also works as a trademark legal specialist at Mintz, Levin, Cohn, Ferris, Blofsky, and Popek, PC. She and her husband David have two great sons, Liz was nominated by Sylvia Fleming. Please come and receive your award, Elizabeth.
Well, Eleanor was a tough act to follow. I'm not singing and I'm not dancing, I'm just telling you right now. Thank you, Chris, for that wonderful introduction. There are a lot of people that I would like to thank tonight, and in the interest of time, I'd like to try to keep it as short as possible. First, I'd like to thank Sylvia Fleming for nominating me for this honor and for her unwavering support over the last year. I'd like to thank my friends at the Zonta Club of Malden and the North Shore Black Women's Association, and also the members of the Board of Directors of the YMCA for coming out to support me tonight. I'd also like to thank my friends, family, and the members of the Board of Directors of Tailored for Success for all their support and encouragement. I'd especially like to thank at this moment my mother, who's not feeling too well tonight, but she took the time to come. Thank you. This is a very special night for me, and I truly appreciate everyone coming to support me. Most of all, I'd like to thank the person who helped me start Tailored for Success and grow it into the agency it is today, my husband, David. As a spokesperson for the agency, I get all the recognition, but without his help and urging me to keep going when times were tough, I would not be standing here tonight. Thank you, David. I founded Tailored for Success to empower low-income women to make a positive change in their lives. I believe in the adage, give a man a fish and he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish and he eats for a lifetime. At Tailored for Success, we teach women to overcome the obstacles and financial challenges that affect their ability to achieve self-sufficiency. Obstacles such as not knowing how to interview effectively, having low self-esteem, and having to fight the negative stereotype of the welfare mother can be truly overwhelming. However, we feel that by providing our clients with free business attire and giving them the opportunity to participate in career development workshops, we give them the tools they need to make a successful and sustained entrance back into the workforce. In closing, I'd like to thank Lorene Sabinigo and Karen Gray and all of the members of the Malden YWCA nominating committee for bestowing this award upon me and including me in such a group of exceptional honorees. To be given this award is truly an honor and a privilege. And with this honor, I hope to live up to the example set by past recipients and the other honorees tonight. Lastly, I'd like to leave you with just one thought that we give each client that walks through the door. Success is your choice. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
In addition to the YWCA Awards, we have a beautiful bouquet from both the Malden Zonta Clubs and the North Shore Black Women's Association. Elizabeth, come on back up. You have to get your gifts. Our next honoree is May Han. The Chinese Cultural Connection was founded in Reading in 1986 and relocated to Malden less than 3 years ago. CCC is very fortunate to have May as its executive director. The organization provides the city's residents and students with a variety of Chinese cultural programs. Over the last 3 years, by collaborating with MAPAC, May has worked to enhance the annual Malden Chinese New Year celebration. May's vision is to create an Asian cultural center serving parents for Asian children and others. May is very involved with the Malden High School's Key Club, where she serves as the adult advisor. She is also very supportive in the Asian Club as well as the Vietnamese Club. May has become an advocate for Asian parents, says her nominator, me. May was a member of the Tri-Pac Policy Council. She also belongs to the Asian American Resource Workshop, the Gun Kwok Asian Lion Dance Troupe, and the Malden Kiwanis Club. Before joining the Chinese Cultural Connection, May's work experiences include job skill development for men. Her entire family is in Taiwan. 3 brothers, 2 sisters, and tons of nieces and nephews. And from a person who still lives in the same house all my life, I think this is incredibly extraordinary. It is fair to say in Malden today, there is no one who promotes multiculturalism and diversity more than May Han. Please come up and welcome May.
Well, this is the first time that I've been recognized in such. I would like to say that it's very refreshing to know that organizations such as the YWCA actually take the stand to acknowledge women for their contributions to the community. We all know that in our human race, women and men are equally important for the existence of our lives. Yet somehow women are always placed behind the men as less important. Although the Chinese were probably the first to realize or to think that yin and yang is the nature of the phenomenon, that men and women or yin and yang is the same thing, that without one cannot exist without the other. Unfortunately, the Chinese people don't necessarily treat their women or their female counterparts as respectfully as they should. And looking at the little video tonight, we consider that in the Western civilization, we have come a long way. And for that, I'd like to salute to the YWCA for making such an effort to recognize the women, which has reinforced the importance of women in our society. Having said that, I was really very shocked and even embarrassed when I heard that I was one of the honorees for tonight. Because I know there are out there many, many people who have done so much for others, more than I can ever dream of doing in my lifetime. So tonight I'm honoring this on behalf of so many people who have done more than I could think of, and the people who have done so much for me too. Actually, 5 days ago was my 19th birthday in America. And throughout my journey of self-realization or self-development, not without a lot of struggle, a lot of challenges, but I was so lucky to have received a lot of help, encouragement. And this is my way of reciprocating that I know people who have done so much for me that I probably have never had a chance to reciprocate for them. This is my way of expression that I have given back to someone who needs help. Of course, without the Seattle Modern Embracing Chinese Cultural Connection, I won't be here. So first of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Howard and our city angel, Christine DiPietro, for allowing me to express myself in my own way. I would also like to say that, or thank Betty Jane, actually, who had introduced me to Kiwanis Club. Talking about the Kiwanis Club is a story of its own. The wicked humor and team spirit is very contagious. Every time when I join them, I get inspired. They had such a wonderful way to organize the event and doing charity work for the community in a very fun and playful manner. I feel very lucky and grateful that I have a team of board members who are very supportive of my work. We have shared vision, passion for the organization, and humanity for the community. Without them, I couldn't be able to do my work. I also like to thank my husband, who supported me unconditionally, even though at times for giving me here. Elizabeth Mengesha. In nominating Elizabeth Mengesha for this year's Student Award, Rosalie Sidoti Iacona puts it best. Liz is an exceptional student and person who has earned recognition for the daughter of Haley and Jane Mengesha. Due in large part to her bicultural background, Elizabeth considers herself keenly aware of political and social issues affecting society today. She is an advocate for justice and has used writing. Elizabeth considers herself keenly aware of political and social issues affecting society today. She is an advocate for justice and has used writing and painting to express and expose her views. In September, as she embarks on her 4-year scholarship to Bowdoin College, Liz intends to study law and is certain to do so with passion and enthusiasm. Many activities, Liz is also involved with ADVAR, a non-profit Ethiopian alliance, and City Year, where she served as an art instructor for underprivileged youth. Portfolio art class, and tutored a struggling 6th, a member of the National Honor Society and Youth Tech Entrepreneurs. Liz also possesses a brown belt in karate and participated in the swim and track profile this week in the Herald for her work with the ADVAR NYT children. Liz has a strong sense of unity and knows the importance of sharing her success with her siblings, relatives, and her community. She is and will continue to be one of Malden's finest. After reading an essay Liz wrote, answering the question, "What motivates me?" the thought that stays with me is how proud her parents must be. They were given the most important job in the world, to raise 5 children to be caring people, contributing citizens, sharing and generous. Liz, we are very proud of you, and your parents have done a wonderful job. Please come up and join as we welcome Elizabeth.
First of all, I'm so honored to be here with all these truly, truly extraordinary women. I've never really been involved in the YWCA, but I'm so enthusiastic to be participating in their mission and to empower women everywhere. It's kind of surreal being up here, and although I'm honored, I want to recognize where my strength and inspiration come from. We often recognize people who have given back to society through their profession. But I think the most important job in life is raising a productive and happy individual who will give back to society on his or her own will. And for that, I would like to recognize and appreciate the extraordinary woman in my life, my mother, Jane Mengesha. I would also like to thank my father, my siblings, my loyal friends, and dedicated teachers. I want to give special thanks to my teacher, Rosalie Sidoti, who nominated me and who has not only allowed me to grow as a better artist, but as a more mature individual. I'd also like to thank my dedicated guidance counselor, Jim O'Hara, and with her help, she helped me get my 4-year scholarship to my top choice school, Bowdoin. Finally, I'd like to thank all my teachers who have shaped me at one point or another in high school and taught me invaluable lessons in life. I want to close my speech with words that will empower all women. Words by the beautiful poet and feminist Muriel Rukeyser. No more masks, no more mythologies. Now, for the first time, the God lifts his hand, the fragments joining me with their own music. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Gladys Rivera Rogers. In the city of Malden, Gladys Rivera Rogers certainly stands out as a woman who possesses extraordinary qualities. According to George Lyons of Malden High School, this self-made woman has always been there to help people. As you may have noticed, Gladys is always very happy, always very positive, and full of energy. These qualities certainly touch the people she's with. Gladys and her family have been known to open their home and hearts to children and families in need. According to Gladys's nominator, Maria Sentence, Director of Reading and Title I in the Malden Public Schools, when someone needs help, she responds. Gladys works hard to ensure the students receive the community resources they need to succeed. Gladys has made many of her contributions to the City of Malden at the YMCA, the Challenge School, and the YWCA. Gladys is also a member of the YWCA Board of Directors and the Malden School Committee. Gladys Rivera Rogers is the first Puerto Rican elected to a public office in the City of Malden. In addition to her involvement in the Malden community, this proud member of the Red Hat Society is employed by the City of Cambridge Let's Save program. Nominated by Maria Sentence, please help me welcome Gladys Rivera Rogers.
Good evening. I have a piece of paper here with a speech and everybody I want to thank. I can't see them through my glasses because I can't see right now. I know how to sing and dance, but I will not do a cappella this evening. I just heard a teenage young lady that's just graduating from high school and she has more accomplishments than I can catch up with right now, okay? I just want to thank the two wonderful people that have nominated me, George Lyons, Maria Sentence. I just want to breathe a moment. I want to thank my husband. The story that you hear of us taking people in, children and teenagers in, it goes way back to my oldest son that we won't say how old he is, but when we used to have friends stay over the house and in the morning we'd wake up and we'd find extra sneakers down the bottom of the stairs and wonder who's there. But as the story goes, my husband would say, aren't they going home? Do they have a home? Right there would break the ice for me to say like, well, is it okay if they stay? So we would see one graduate continue on, graduate from high school. A young lady would need some place to stay. Oh, do you mind if she stays a little longer? So that's just been, you just never know who's coming to stay for dinner and just staying forever. Thank you, Chuck, for your patience through everything. My sons for tolerating and putting up with my craziness and madness. The women from the YWCA, and this wonderful program that everybody's put together and worked so hard doing. I want to thank my colleagues, committee members, for a wonderful, wonderful year, or not months. Chair Howard. This award, I would like to accept wonderful, wonderful women in my life. The day that I received this phone call, I was in disbelief. I was excited, surprised. And it was the same day that I lost my wonderful mother-in-law. So today I accept this in her memory, and also in the memory of my own wonderful mother that raised 3 children by herself. I was always taught that no matter what, nothing can stop you in life. And my saying is always, and I tell all my high school students, elementary school students, anybody that comes by me in my path in life, and is, you can do anything you set your heart to do. And with that, I thank you.
YWCA gift. There was a beautiful bouquet of flowers from the Malden School Committee. Born and raised in Malden, Diane Farrahurst-Smith now resides in Saugus with her husband Jim, one daughter Lindsay, and a son Jonathan. Diane has come a long way since her days as a candy striper at Malden Hospital. As Vice President of Hallmark Health's Home Health and Hospice Division, Diane now helps maintain the viability of home health care in Malden and its surrounding communities. Diane's career is filled with her devotion to improving health status in the community. Under her leadership, Hallmark consolidated 5 home care agencies together to create a single entity at a time when many agencies were closing. According to Julie Corwin, a colleague of Diane's at Hallmark, colleagues firmly believe that without Diane's leadership and dedication, these agencies would have collapsed due to the market pressure. Instead, Diane re-engineers the home care division and secured grants to ensure continuation of services. Furthermore, the compassion and first-rate bedside manner that made Diane an outstanding nurse has remained with her as a senior administrator. She is regarded as professional, fair, and a forthright advocate for patients and families. Despite the demands of her role at Hallmark Health, Diane is dedicated to community. She is an active member of Healthy Malden, as well as the Rotary Club of Everett and Massachusetts Organization of Nursing Executives, and serves on the board of directors of the Malden Chamber of Commerce and Community Health Family. She has also volunteered with the American Cancer Society, the Girl Scouts, and Saugus Band Parents Association. Helping others and the personal satisfaction of a job well done motivates Diane. Diane is a loving wife, a supporting mother, a devoted niece, and a sharing sister. Nominated by Julie Corwin. Please help me bring up Diane.
Well, thank you and good evening. And I thank the YWCA for this wonderful honor. I too was shocked and quite humbled when I got the phone call, because I just don't see myself doing anything special, just working hard as I've been raised and contributing. And I must say that I did get a little nervous with Eleanor's presentation. And I know a few people have commented on that. If you wanted a song, we'd have to all kind of go into a chorus of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, because that's about all I do. But I have to tell you, over the last week, I've really been thinking about tonight and wondering what I would say. And the theme of tonight is really about empowerment of women. It's Everyday Women Extraordinary Vision. But when I read the mission statement of the Y, it talks about that its purpose is to really empower women and girls to really be as fulfilling as possible in their lives. Now, I know I work hard, I know I've done some good things, and when I think about the foundation of where that came from, it definitely came from my parents. teaching me to have a hard, good work ethic and do things right and teaching me values. It came from having a wonderful sister and brother who's here tonight. We had a great family life here in Malden, some very fond memories as we think about Malden this evening. I have a wonderful husband and children who've been very supportive. I too have not been home much over their lives, over my children's lives, going to graduate school, working long hours, and really being almost an absentee mom many times, where my husband has had to fill in for both. So I could never have done without that supportive partner. I work with a great team of staff. They make my job easy and they're part of what I do every day. And all of that comes together because I've been told, and I believe in this, that you really can do whatever you set your mind to. We heard that repeatedly by the nominees before me. And for the women, and especially the young girls, and you, whatever you set your mind to do. So with that, I thank you for this honor and thank the YWCA for such a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Dr. Deborah Wayne, through hard work and determination, has become a true community leader and role model for other women. Since moving to Malden at age 12, Debbie immediately embraced the city, and it embraced her. Upon her graduation from Malden High School in 1975, Debbie received a scholarship in recognition of her scholastic and community efforts. After graduating from Boston University and the New England School of Optometry, Dr. Wayne joined her in his practice in Chelsea. She has run this office on her own for the last 18 years and opened a second office in Malden 11 years ago. When not busy serving her patients, Dr. Wayne writes a column on optometry for the Malden Observer. Despite the demands of her professional career, Dr. Wayne consistently works to better the lives of others through numerous charitable endeavors. Dr. Wayne is president of the Malden Lions Club and provides free eye screening throughout the year on the Lions Eye Mobile. She is a board member of the Malden YMCA and a trustee of the Latin American Cultural Association in Chelsea.
I did not prepare a speech because I can't read my writing and I know that in advance. I tried to speak at my installation at Lions last year when I became president and realized after the first sentence, couldn't do it. Just for Arthur Boyle, my good friend, my friend since 7th grade, he asked if I was going to sing or participate in a swimsuit competition, and I told him that it would be the quickest way to empty the room. So, neither. I have a couple of people I'd like to thank. First of all, I'd love to thank the YWCA because I just cannot believe that I'm included in such a group of extraordinary women. I still can't believe it. I remember calling my mother the day I got the letter. I said, you gotta see this. I can't believe it. And it was real. It wasn't a joke. But I'd like to thank Kim Giampetro for nominating me. I know she had to run out to a meeting tonight, but Kim and I have been friends a long time, and we don't get to see each other. Other than bumping into each other at restaurants and running around at meetings. I thank the Malden Lions for allowing me the same opportunities. I will be their president again next year, and I know that we are going to do a lot of work in the community, and hopefully we'll do it with the other organizations in town. I'd like to thank North Suffolk Mental Health, my organizations in Chelsea, North Suffolk Mental Health and HOCA, their labors of love. And last but not least, anyone here that is not involved in community service, we get a lot more out of giving than we could ever get. And I would implore you all, if you're not already involved, find some place to volunteer, enjoy it, because it will make you a better person and you will have a much more fulfilling life. Thank you. The person I am is like everyone else has said before me. My mom is here. My mom is a lot older than I. And I watched as I grew up, my mom and my dad get involved in the communities of Chelsea and then again in Malden. And I think that like someone else said before me, that's where we learn. So if you have children, please get involved so they will too. Thank you.
Along with the YWCA gift, I believe we're going to have something from Lions. I knew that. You forgot. It's from the Malden Lions Club, Debbie. When you think of Malden, you can't help think about Sheila Famano. A lifelong resident, Sheila inspires her friends, neighbors, and co-workers with her energy, enthusiasm, and commitment to the city. According to Sheila's nominator, City Councilor Jeffrey Donahue, when you ask for someone who consistently works to better the lives of our fellow community members, Sheila is tops in my book. As clerk of committees for the Malden City Council, Sheila is the eyes and ears of Malden. Imagine having 11 male bosses. Beyond these responsibilities... I'm sorry, 10 male bosses. Ellen is a dream. It's the male bosses that I'm worried. Male bosses. Beyond these responsibilities... I'm sorry, 10 male bosses. Ellen is a dream. It's the male bosses that I'm worried about.
You put a job in that.
Well, beyond these responsibilities, Sheila is extremely active in civic, political, religious, and social clubs throughout the city. She is a 4-time secretary for the Golden Tornado Club and Malden High's Booster Club. Sheila is also highly involved in many of Malden's charitable events, such as the Holiday Spirit Party for homeless children, the 350th anniversary celebration, and the Mayor's annual golf tournament, the 4th of July festival, and an annual senior cookout. Known to give 110% of every occasion, it is no wonder that Sheila has participated in the Avon 3-day breast cancer walk from Fitchburg to Boston. Sheila walks for those who can't. In her 2 years of walking, Sheila has raised over $12,000 for breast cancer research, awareness, and early detection programs for underserved women. Sheila considers her involvement in this walk and the American Cancer Society Relay for Life a means of giving back to the community that has always been there for me. Sheila is the delightful wife of Don Famano. Where is Don? She's the proud mother of 3, and her children are continually making her proud. But she's the ecstatic nanny of 1. Nominated by Jeff Donahue. Please help me welcome Sheila.
The City Council will now join me to sing. I need new glasses. I'm not usually at a loss for words, but I can't describe how I feel inside tonight. Not only tonight, but ever since I got the call. I've been told to keep this short, so it's my 3.5 minutes in the sun, and you'll bear with me. First, I humbly and graciously thank the YWCA for this prestigious award. It is my honor and privilege to be part of such an impressive group of ordinary women with unique and extraordinary visions.
I commend the YWCA for their human kindness and for instilling in women the confidence and conviction to pursue their dreams and to believe in themselves. I am delighted to share in the celebration of your 75th anniversary. Congratulations to you. I am especially touched to have been nominated by Councilor Jeff Donahue. In case any of you haven't noticed, he is the only male nominator. Jeff is not only one of my colleagues, but oftentimes he is one of my kids. I am flattered to think he would hold me in such high esteem, and I am overwhelmed that he took the time out to campaign for me. Thank you. I thank and appreciate my friends and co-workers who came out for this tribute tonight on my behalf. Over there. I am usually the one in the audience or on the sidelines, never the one at the finish. So again, I thank all of you for being here for me. Professionally, I am privileged and proud to work for the ever-controversial Malden City Council. They allow me free reign of our office in City Hall, my domain, and they permit me to act on their behalf on very many issues. I am grateful for their trust, their friendship, and their loyalty. It is a rare occasion lately to see them united. And I am excited and complimented that they are sharing this night with me. My family, where do I begin to thank you? You hung in there with me when the times were tough, and you enriched my life in ways none of you will ever know. You encouraged me when I was hesitant, and you applauded me even in failure. No matter what path I chose, you were on it with me. And I endured because you were my foundation. Together we overcame personal obstacles, only to survive and succeed. I love you more than you know. And lastly, I share this tribute with my husband, Don. He continuously supports my endless list of things to do and places to go. With patience, tolerance, and enthusiasm. Your inner strength, your constructive criticism, and your immeasurable love allow me the freedom to be who I am. There is a quote I especially like by Helen Keller. Many of you will be familiar with it, as I have used it to thank so many for their support of me in the 813 Day. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. That is my closing to all of you. It describes how I feel inside tonight, with the outpour of love and friendship by the presence of all of you here. I thank you for this incredible journey.
This is also a bouquet of flowers from Junior Aid. I mentioned it in the very beginning, but I'm not sure everybody heard, but each honoree came up with a song, and it was the honoree's choice. They chose that song, and that was their song. We heard some great tunes, if we can remember them, but anyway, I just wanted a reminder of that. I'd now like to invite Mayor Howard to come up and say a few closing remarks.
Please rise for a closing prayer. Congratulations to Christine. She's done a wonderful job this evening. Give her a round. apologize for losing my place in line here. We went out and attended another very nice event down at the Salemwood School, where members of the school committee had run to participate in the graduation and some nomination ceremonies for both the library and the field house down there. It's always interesting to go out with Bill Mitty. Being a resident historian, he's also the person who names things around here. Always getting reservations. I think he took a deposit on a courthouse, a city hall, 2 street corners. So if you know of anybody that you want to commemorate, you better get to him pretty soon, because we're running out of locations. I saw him talking to somebody out in front of Anthony's. I think Bill sold the place to a guy named Ralph. Ralph's Banquet Hall. I don't know if Albert will appreciate that. It's been a pleasure coming down for 7 years now to this wonderful event that Laureen and her great board have put together. It's an astounding kind of phenomenon that you can keep coming up with a series of names of women who do such wonderful things for the community. The list in the back of the booklet continues to grow, but is so well deserved, and year after year it seems as though the awardees, the honorees, become even more outstanding. A great combination of people from education and business and government and cultural affairs recognized this evening. I will note, however, that it's about time that the place got kind of spiced up a little bit, and that's due to the efforts of 4 young men who did a wonderful job this evening. Of course, it took a woman to make them stand up straight. Remember, they were all singing harmony. So, without going on much longer, I just want to say, on behalf of Malden City Government, congratulations to all the honorees. Tremendously well-deserved, as you can see. Such talented, committed, and wonderful women who are in our presence and really make Malden the great community that it is. And I'm glad that the YW takes the time out each year to recognize them, because we hope they will stick around and create more of these wonderful women. So congratulations to the YW, and thank you for that.
I loved tonight's program. Of course, I'm passionate, but I really loved it. I loved the video. I thought it was a tremendous amount of work, and I loved the girls doing their little, I wish you could see all their outfits. You'll see them because they still have them all on. I think they look just tremendous, and it was a lot of wonderful hard work done by Karen Gray, our president, and now I'd like you to meet Karen, please.
Getting so good on that internet, push the button, I can get all kinds of pictures, all kinds of stories, and it was fun. I learned a lot. What a wonderful night tonight was. Boy, I'm just overwhelmed in hearing the people's stories and you know, their acceptances, but even better was watching your faces as you watched them. So I was people watching, and you were great. Thank you for coming to celebrate our 75th anniversary with us. How special it is that you're here and sharing it with us, because we feel really, really special about the fact that we're doing this, and that we've had 75 years of being here for our community. So thank you for being here and sharing that time with us. If you notice this, I hope at your table and the waitresses didn't throw them away. This is our souvenir gift to you. This is Susan B. Anthony, who's one of the pioneers of women's suffragette. By the way, the coin is good. It is worth $1. But we're hoping rather than you spend it, that this becomes your lucky coin, and that you throw it in your pocketbook or in your jeans or someplace else, and that when you think of it, you think of the YW, and you think of the progress that women have made. So please make sure that you got it. I can't end this evening without thanking the board members. So I'm going to ask them each just to stand up and sit down. please hold your applause till the end because it's getting late. Okay? So, the board members, my due Vice President Cynthia Bean, Secretary, Diana Jong, Treasurer, our wonderful teens Amanda Clark and Eunice Charles, Susan Dooley, Christine DePietro, our marvelous Mistress of Ceremonies, Sharon Irby, Denise Jackson, Deborah Kasabian, Maureen Lane, Mary Nolan, Virginia O'Neill, Lynn Paris, Suzanne Roberts, Gladys Rivera Rogers, and Judith Rosenthal. You guys are marvelous. A few past board members in the audience with us today too. So could anyone who has ever served on our board, or thought of serving on our board, or maybe will serve on our board in the future, just stand up for a second and be recognized so we can thank you too. Thank you, ladies. Some of you will get in there again, by the way. I also have to acknowledge a very special teen, and she does not know I'm doing this, but I have to do it anyways. Eunice Charles, she was our wonderful 60s. Eunice, I hope you're still in that costume because I want you to show off those boots. Eunice just received a grant that she applied for herself as a teen and did all the work on this grant herself for $1,000. The project was a beautification project, and it was in partnership with City Council Chris Simonelli and the Partnership for Community Schools to paint a mural in the state skateboard park in Cross Street. And they'll be working with a professional artist to paint this mural. And I just think it is so outstanding of Eunice to have gone ahead and done this all by herself. So Eunice. Could you play that 60s music again? Very special evening. The YW Mall would like to continue to ask. Oh, all right. Well, too late. Thank you, Dan. This has been a very special evening. And the YW Mall would like to invite you to continue to be with us as we move forward into our future, as we look forward to celebrating our 100-year anniversary. We're working hard to live our mission of empowerment of women and girls, the promotion of diversity, and the building of community involvement. And by the way, in the year 2027, the cost of the first-class stamp will be $1. There will be a female president and vice president in the White House. And the Red Sox will win the World Series over the Yankees 9-0. Thank you again for coming. We so appreciate your being here. Drive home safely.